This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I talk about the new Haymarket Brewery in Michigan, the Off-Color Bottle Shop, and the Beer and Wine Festival in Tinley Park this weekend.
Yeah, because, you get a cork popped out, boop, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Hey, I'm Nick Waite.
Just us this week.
No, man, no special guests. We had Clint Bouts on from Lake Effect.
Yeah.
Founder and brewmaster up there.
And beer runner and
Yeah.
beer seller, and he does it all. Like
He's just wearing all the hats.
right, one man show
Yeah.
going on there, or it was. He's got many a help
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Very cool to hear his story. So I definitely recommend going back and checking that out if you didn't get a chance to listen, because we didn't just talk about the week's events. We talked about him.
Exactly, yeah. And I do like when what am I saying? Oh, like we do like a little profile piece, and it talks about like all the collabs he's done, and like and the beers he's making, and the new series and the events all at once is pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you have anyone that you want to hear from, let us know. We'd love to reach out to them and like interview the people that you want to talk to, because these are just the people like we can get to easily.
Pretty much.
So yeah. So if you want someone, I guess someone else, let us know. We'd love to hear that. You can tweet at us at Chicago Beer Pass. So this week we're drinking some more local beer. We got Alarmus Brewing Company, one of the newer breweries to open up here in Chicago. They recently started canning their beers. They're doing the thing where they have like the sleeves, and it's wrapped around the can, so they're not printed on the cans yet. So it's a little more cost effective to kind of get your beer out there right away.
Yeah, for sure. And you used to see and it's a full length sleeve, like you would see in like 18th Street's early days or Spiteful's early days. They go with like the half sleeve.
Yeah.
So it'd be like half silver can, and then the sleeve would be like a label right in the middle.
Yeah.
So this looks good. It's the Entrenched IPA, and I believe this is his second offering in cans. Could I be wrong here?
I think this is the first. The
Okay,
second
it's the
one,
first
I
one.
think, just started hitting the shelves now.
Yeah, and he's he famously, we all know Gary. He left his job and said, "I'm out of here.
Right,
I'm
at
gonna go start this brewery."
Orbitz.
Yeah. Oh, he was at Orvitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so entrenched refers to, they give an example of how the word is used. Earl was entrenched in his soul-sucking corporate career. He just up and quit. And there's a photo of Earl, with his feet up on the desk and papers all over the floor after he's like realized, hey,
I'm out.
I'm done, man. I'm
I
done.
like that it says, usually you get like the ingredients and list. It's hops, yes.
Right.
No sugar coating it there. This is a pretty tasty beer. I guess he did have some issues with some of the cans going out where it was a darker color.
Yeah, because we got the 4-pack, the Tall Boy 4-pack, and 2 of ours look exactly the same.
But then we got, like, if you're watching the video or seeing this, I don't even know if you could see it on the video, but
Yeah.
one was really dark. He posted about this on his Facebook page. I guess he had some issues with the canning. So yeah, kind of weird and strange. So I'm glad most of the beers I got, because I did have another 4-pack that were all fine too. So
Yeah, so there's this one. At least there's no particles of glass in it, like the Corona.
what? I didn't hear about that.
They said, hey, 1 out of every 5,000 of their the Coronitas, the little bitty 8-ounce bottles, may have shards of glass in it. So they did a full recall.
What?
Yeah, this was over whatever the last holiday was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so at least it's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is good. I've had this one, and then I've had the one on draft.
The pantsless.
Yeah, the pantsless IPA. Both really good.
The something phobia is coming out in cans soon, so keep
Yeah.
eye out for that. And
So kudos to him up in that weird part of the city that we can't think of the name of the
Saguenay.
Saguenay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Northwest side, far northwest side.
Far.
Yeah,
northwest.
right at the tip there.
Yeah.
Right at the tip of the city. Yeah.
You're better off taking the expressway and going through like Skokie and coming back around to get there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty far. But yeah, keep a lookout for stuff. I did see it at Whole Foods. Saw some photos of it at Target. I picked this up at Binny's. So yeah, it's available and out there. So check it out.
Target surprisingly has a really good beer selection.
Right.
And I'm glad it's not just me because I was talking to someone at something I was at this week, and I picked up a bottle of it was a Pumpkin from Southern Tier.
Okay.
Great deal. It was like $4, right? And then but it rang up as like PBR.
Oh,
And someone else at this event I was at, they were saying the same thing, that they picked up a beer and it rings up as something else.
okay.
Like you pick up Revolution and it rings up as like, Brooklyn Brewery, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious as to why that is.
Got to be a mistake, right?
Or is it? So I'm just putting it out there because same thing happened to these two people that didn't know each other.
Conspiracy at Target. Oh my gosh. So yeah, sip on this. We got a couple cans of this as we go through what we did this past week.
Right on.
Which we didn't even get a chance to talk too much about our travels, but that's all right. It wasn't Chicago related, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. We sometimes we go like there are other trips we'll take that'll be beer focused.
Yeah.
I think,
Those
right?
are more relaxing trips that we took that we were gone for a lot of March there.
Man,
So
yeah.
it's nice to be back here. So what'd you do this week in the city?
This week I made it all the way up to a Chicago staple, man. The legendary Hop Leaf.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I went up there on a Thursday night for an Anchor Brewing and Distilling beer dinner. So Hop Leaf is one of these places, a lot like our friends at Side Door, where the chef gets together with the brewery and they make a menu just for that night, which is cool.
Okay.
So I didn't know that Anchor from San Francisco is a distillery as well.
I didn't know that either.
So apparently since 1989 they've been distilling, and then Anchor as a brewery has been around since 1898.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, so Rusty was there. Rusty I know from the Goose Island days, and he's also a huge bourbon fan.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, man, we're the original craft brewery, and he's like, dude, Fitz came around in like 1979, and they're known for their California Common beer, that kind of thing,
Right.
and then they've always been, just one of the godfathers of the West Coast craft beer movement, and ultimately of the entire craft beer movement. So he said he shared a really cool story about how like the guys from Chico and Sierra Nevada, how they would come down, and they would pick up like kegs of the Anchor.
Anchor Steam?
Yeah, the Anchor Steam. And then like the dregs of yeast that were in the kegs. They took that back up to Chico and propagated that. And that became the yeast for Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Because they didn't have any other way to get it at the time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because there were no craft breweries.
Right. White yeast and White Labs weren't around yet. So
Yeah, so you're talking like, Fritz took over in 79, and you're talking like 1983, 1985, something like that. Yeah, really cool story. Michael Roper from Hop Leaf got up and talked a little bit, and he said, hey, we opened in 1992, and Anchor is one of the few brands that's always been on.
yeah, is it still on there?
Yeah, it's still on.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So we had they introduced a new beer. It was a Meyer Lemon lager.
Okay.
And then they had some of the staples, like the Anchor Steam, and the Anchor Porter, and the barley wine. And then it started off and ended with their spirits. So the first beverage, the welcome beverage, was a gin martini, and then the final beverage was a pairing of a double barrel ale with a bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Meyer Lemon. How do you feel about all these beers having fruit?
I guess
in
they're
them
coming
now?
they're coming into
Every-
trying to catch up, with their contemporaries, right? Like you're not a real brewery unless you got some kind of beer with like, some sort of peach or fruit or ginger or something.
Or
right?
grapefruit.
Grapefruit, right? Like, yeah, I'm seeing it all over the place, man. Yeah, and what I dig about their beers, it kind of reminded me of Firestone Walker's lineup, how it's like, really cool and like beautifully balanced beers, all the Anchor beers reminded me of Firestone's beers in that regard, like simple, subtle flavors, right?
Yeah.
Like solid offering all across the board.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Some Meyer Lemon. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that because
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to step my lemon game up because I couldn't tell you, how Meyer tastes.
Meyer compares to regular lemon. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so I got nothing, man.
All right.
But it was a cool party, man. Yeah, right upstairs in the Hop Leaf space.
Okay.
Yeah, like 5 courses, and ended up being like 6 beverages.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Anything else?
I hit up Off Color. We were talking about it last week and how Clint wanted to have his bottle shop. So I hit up Off Color and went
Yeah.
over there and picked up 2 beers.
Okay.
The large format beers, the Hell Broth was one, which is a collab, and it's American Wild Ale, and then this Alpha Kang.
So this was real because they announced this on April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Right.
Then we saw stuff from I think Greenbush about their little pecker cans,
Little pecker can.
which I have a little pecker can at home
Okay.
that I got from the brewery.
Oh,
but
really?
And we saw like 21st Amendment announced like all their beers are gonna be grapefruit.
Right. And you saw like Oscar Blues was suing Ska because Oscar is spelled Oska.
Yeah.
And then Ska is just Ska. So they're going to sue. Like you saw all this wacky stuff on April Fool's, and then this beer came out on April
Right.
Fool's.
So I thought it was a joke because I think there was even like a smiley face in the tweet.
Right. So it's Wiseacre, Off Color, and Floyd's, and they're making a beer called Alpha Kang with alfalfa hay and alfalfa honey.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, what the hell is this? You get over there, it's like, you see Jess, who used to be at Revolution, who used to be at Metro. She's now over there. And then, you get this 6.2% pale ale. And, it's a trip, man. It's got this wacky letter and all that. I'm like, what is this, man? So,
Yeah.
yeah, we crack it open, and it's a legit beer. Like, I don't know. When's the last time you had alfalfa,
Right, alfalfa sprouts is like about it, right?
Yeah.
On your Jimmy John's.
Right, on your Jimmy
salmon.
John's sandwich, right? Yeah, so, I don't know, like, I didn't get a lot of alfalfa. I don't know what I was looking at.
I guess, like, is it like grassy, like?
Yeah, I think
But you can have hops in there.
I think the honey kind of overshadowed whatever kind of grassy, earthy notes they were going for. It's a really good beer. I
Okay.
would suggest trying it if you haven't. It was good. We actually ended up we got 2 of them. We had one on its own, and then we took the other one back and threw a couple shots of gin in it.
Well-
got some ice.
Jeez, okay.
A little blood orange liqueur. It made a nice little cocktail out of the second one. Yeah, it was a good beer. But yeah. That's all I did. Oh, and Hell Broth was the other one. So
Hell Broth, okay.
I think the Alpha King I liked a little bit more.
Alpha.
Alpha Kang.
Kang. Okay.
I feel weird saying that.
So over the weekend, I took a trip up to the new Haymarket. We shot an episode of the Hopcast up there. That should be coming out either later this week or next week. I don't know when we're getting this edited up, but that should be coming up soon. So first we made a stop at Journeyman. So I have left the Chicago limits here. Journeyman's
It's up in Michigan somewhere?
yeah, it's about an hour, a little hour and a half away. I stopped there, grabbed some food, had a beer, heard about the Little Pecker. The Haymarket guys had some of the cans of Little Pecker because they were staying up there.
So you can like buy the can of the
No.
April Fool's beer.
No, you can't. It's really just Diet Coke with a label around it. I haven't even opened it. I was gonna bring it in and I forgot for this
Yeah.
episode. So, so we had a beer there, and then Haymarket's new brewery is about 7 miles from Greenbush.
Really?
So it's one where you turn out on the main road, you turn one more, and then you're there. You're down, and so it's an old state troopers facility.
Okay.
It's huge grounds. Like on one side is a wetlands, and that's preserved, so they can't even like build anything on there. The other side is a graveyard,
Really?
so they have no neighbors. Nobody's gonna complain like, "Oh, you guys are too loud" if you're doing parties or bottle releases or anything like that. They have a helicopter pad in the back.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
So they've had to build.
cannot make this stuff up.
No, they had to build another building in the back because it was a fairly small building. It's weird that it was a small building on such a large property. It must have been a lot of like cars used in and out of there. So they built another building where I think most of the packaging's or all the packaging's going to take place. And so we got a little tour. They let us know how they were going to set it up. The brew house is like right in the middle of the place. So similar to like Haymarket where you can look in like glass windows. You can see what's happening there.
Yeah.
They hope to be up and running by, I think, towards late summer. So
wow.
it'll probably be like early fall,
Yeah, right.
maybe.
Yeah. And I know they really like that neck of the woods, and partially because they're buddies with like the Greenbush guys, and that's you can get beer into Chicago relatively easily from that part of Michigan.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's probably going to be the focus for their distribution. Are they They're probably hiring a distributor at this point.
Yeah, they didn't say who they were going with yet. They talked about some of the things they're looking for
Yeah.
in this, but they're going to focus on distributing in that part of Michigan and then all of Illinois. They kind of want to go after like the same way Half Acre did it, where go after these markets first. Like we don't want to oversaturate our brand. We want to like focus hard.
Yeah, because up to this point, I mean, you can go to the pub and get Haymarket's beers, or you go to a festival, and that's really it.
That's really it,
So, and they're so close to Union Station that a lot of people have had their beers. So now you get to, take them home. That sounds pretty cool.
So we talked a little bit about like why they chose Michigan instead of doing it in Chicago, and I think it really sounded like it became a rent issue and a space issue, like the size that they need it.
Yeah.
It would just cost like way too much to make it happen in Chicago.
Sounds like the Three Floyds guys all live in Chicago.
Yeah.
But it sounds very similar to them. They're like, we're going to Indiana.
Right. And so Pete's pretty confident in the brewers he has at the pub because he's, and it's not that far. It's like they said it was like 45 minutes in like midday. Like if you're just trying to get back and forth, like, I don't know, 1, 2 p.m. during the week, you're not going to hit any of that traffic. So you can move pretty quick. So he'll definitely be going up back and forth, I'm sure, quite a bit. So yeah, it's really cool to see that. That episode will be up soon. So with the Hopcast, and so it was a good afternoon up there. After we did the interview and the episode, we went over to Journeyman for a drink over in Three Oaks. It's about 15-minute drive from there, so not too bad.
How are those spaces? Are they doing like they're doing flights, and then are they making like cocktails and that kind of thing up there too? Because these are both distilleries, right? I know Journeyman is.
Journeyman is. Greenbush isn't.
Oh, all right.
Greenbush
I thought
is.
you said something else. I thought you said Three Oaks or something.
That's in Three Oaks, the town. Yeah.
Got it. I'm there. Sorry.
So yeah, they're just a distillery. Since we've been there, an entire new restaurant had opened up next door since the last time I was there, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Party bus showed up with like a bachelor party or something like that. So it got crazy.
You gotta have a party bus.
And then we tried to go on the other side of the street was Pleasant House Bakery, or the Pleasant House Pies, opened up a brewery in Three Oaks.
No way.
Did you hear about this?
Wait, so like the same guys that are next door to Maria's, like those guys?
Yeah, they opened up a brewery.
Get out of here. Really?
There. And apparently it had been open. We went there, signed up that said basically this did not work out. We're going back to Chicago. That's kind of what the sign said. Like, thanks for the fun summer, or what? It must have closed a while ago because it must have closed before the winter. They're like,
you're
thanks.
being for real.
Yeah, they're like, thanks. We had a lot of fun here, but we're going to retool and open up something back in Chicago.
Man, I guess Pheasant is as cool as they are, and I do like their pies. I get them when I'm in Maria's. I guess they're no Haymarket, huh?
I was disappointed. I wanted a pie.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I bet during the winter that there's no reason to be in that town, so it's probably really hard to be up there if you don't live there, because you see a lot of people from Chicago have like second homes and things like that in that area.
So so Greenbush is in Sawyer.
Yeah.
Now this Haymarket Brewery, where's that? Do you remember like where that's gonna be? Like the name of the town's gonna be in?
It's Bridgman.
Yeah, Bridgman.
Bridgman, yeah. So not too far. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then afterwards, this was a lot of driving around and trying to keep drinking to a limit because I was the one driving here. But we made a stop at 18th Street.
Now there's 18th Street, and then I'm just gonna crack another alarmist
go for
open.
it.
Yeah, there's 18th Street, and then there's the one in Hammond, which I guess where they're canning.
Right.
And then there's the original brew pub in Gary.
Yeah, so Ken had been to the Hammond one, so Ken Hahnemeter was with us.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Honey Money.
yeah, we're like, well, let's go to Gary because, one, it's closer to Chicago.
Yeah,
we're getting closer.
Yeah.
And he had never been there, so we're like, oh, let's check that out. And I'd never been there.
Yeah, it's like their original location.
So we stopped in there. Got to hear some guys arguing about politics for a little bit. So that was pretty funny.
Bernie's a socialist. No, I hear that all the time. Bernie's a socialist. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever.
I had, I think, one beer. I don't remember what I had. Ken ordered a couple of them. He had one of their sours.
Yeah, I know they're doing 18th Street is the main project, but then they've got this other project called the Sour Note. Yeah, that they're making like they've got all these fooders and they're doing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big space because there's an entire another room that really wasn't being used when we were there,
Yeah.
which was Saturday afternoon. There was like 7 people in
And
there.
you're like downtown Gary. You're right? Like you're on Main Street.
I've never heard anyone say like, "Let's go downtown
Go
Gary."
Downtown Gary. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, so you're on the main strip right there. I know the last time I went, they were in just the one space that you were in.
Okay.
And then
Was
since-
it busy?
It was busy because that was the only space.
Okay.
And then now they've expanded to that room next door, like you said, and then they've expanded to the space to the other side of them, and that's where a lot of their barrel programming for the sour note is.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're slowly like taking over that whole block. Yeah.
Funny.
So
It was fine. Glad I went.
Yeah.
I'm glad I checked it out because it's been kind of on the list of
Yeah.
like places I needed to go to for a long time. So that was my weekend. That was all on Saturday during the like big blizzard, sunshine, weird kind of thing.
yeah, like whereas like it's noon and it's a complete and utter blizzard.
Yeah.
And then like 2 p.m. it's sun and all the snow melted like nothing had happened.
And then at 3, it's another blizzard.
So weird. Yeah, it's fitting that you guys went up there to check out the new Haymarket because, it's a really cool story. Like, 5-6 years ago, you guys checked out the original Haymarket before it got built.
Yeah.
So you're kind of continuing that
So
perspective.
hopefully I'm able to go up there. We're able to do another episode maybe when they get the tanks, maybe
Yeah.
like right before they kind of open. I don't think we can document it as well as we did the first Haymarket.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. That was my weekend. That was plenty for like an entire week, I think.
It's pretty cool road trip there.
Yeah. It was nice. Should we jump into what's going on this week then for everyone to check out and get their drink on?
Yeah, we got a few events. We'll start with Wednesday, April 6th, at the Riverview Tavern. So the folks at Around the Bend, they are releasing Vera. And Vera is a pistachio cream ale on nitro.
Okay, where's Riverbend?
Riverview?
Riverview, sorry.
Riverview Tavern is it's actually just on the north side, not too far from Black Rock. So you're talking like
Like Roscoe Village.
Roscoe Village. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Roscoe Village. That's where it is.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Wednesday. What time does that kick off?
That's a 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
kickoff. Yeah. It sounded interesting. I usually don't get excited about like one beer tapping, but
Yeah.
Pistachio cream ale on nitro. I'm curious.
Pistachio cream ale and nice. Sounds like some ice cream's needed. I want a
Yeah.
cream ale. I don't see too many cream ales. That's
You
kind of
don't.
interesting too.
You don't. I've seen the one, the Sun King one, and then and this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only two I can think of in recent memory that I've heard of.
Yeah. Nice. So that's on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple things on Saturday. Anything else before Saturday on your list?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's
Whoa.
it's a short week.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like there's like tappings and things we're just
There's
skipping
tons
over.
of stuff we're missing out on. Yeah.
But on Saturday, over in Lombard at Noon Whistle from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m., they're releasing their Swanky Smack. It's an Opus 1 wine barrel beer. It was aged in those barrels, and so it's just a bottle release for them.
Okay.
I haven't had too much of Noon Whistle stuff outside of beer festivals.
Yeah. I'm curious. I don't think I've had. I know the name, but I haven't had any of their stuff yet.
No.
Speaking of Off Color is hosting Off Color night out at Bavarian Lodge. That's out in Lyle. So that's 5 p.m. That's on Saturday the 9th. So they're bringing some fun beers, man. The Alpha Kang we talked about, Fierce, which is a Berliner Weiss.
Yeah.
Coffee Dino S'mores, as well as Wari, which was like their Chico de Mole that they made with the museum,
Okay.
the Field Museum.
That's like one of their newest beers in
Yeah.
bottles. Bottles.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And then also in Saturday, also in the suburbs, is Brew and Vine in Tinley Park. So this is a beer and wine festival, I believe, happening.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the combination of like both worlds here. I think you're going to get a very weird mix of people going to this event.
That's going to be a party, man.
Yeah.
It's something for everybody, man.
So right now tickets are $29 or $35 at the door. But if you want to get on that VIP, it's $50 and then $60 at the door.
Always encourage that VIP.
Get the VIP.
Yeah, get there early, walk around, have your way with the place.
Yeah. Get a lay of the land so you know like where I need to end up, what I need to check out. It's always good.
Yeah.
I believe that's from 5 to 10. It said there's going to be 200 plus different craft beers there.
Holy smokes.
Quite a few things to drink.
They're doing big things down in Tinley Park. Open Bottle. They just had Open Bottle Fest for their anniversary.
Oh, I thought you meant like open bottle law. Like you can drink anywhere.
You can walk down the street, 350 Brewing's out there, and so is Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Hailstorm's also out there. Now, Monday, April 11th, is the Cubs home opener.
What? Already? Baseball time?
Already.
I thought winter was here. I thought winter was here.
It's 36 degrees out right now,
Yeah.
but the Cubbies are playing at home on Monday, April 11th. And, typically this was a Mad Hatter New Holland event. It's always been, maybe for like 8 years running.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but the Cubs open a day, and now it's a Goose event. Yeah, Sheffield's opens at noon on Monday, and they're bringing it, man. They've got a ton of stuff. They're going to bring all 5 sisters, and then they're going to also have some choice Bourbon County selections. So we're talking Bourbon County coffee, the barley wine, as well as Regal, to just name a few. And then they've also got a really cool Goose-inspired sandwich lineup. So they'll have like a Goose mac and cheese and a pastrami sandwich with a liter raspberry mustard, that kind of thing. Oof. Yeah, so Goose is taking over Sheffield's for Cubs home opener.
Nice. So you gonna be going? I know a lot of people end up taking work off or calling in sick to hit up this game.
I've been at that thing a few times, man, and it is all sorts of fun, man. You go before the game, and then you go to the game, and then you go back, and before you know it, it's 10 p.m.
Okay.
It's
on a Monday.
It's a blast, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a blast.
That's cool. Is that all we got on the calendar then?
That's all we got, man.
We blazed through that list here.
Yeah.
Whew.
A little bit.
Anything on the beer news side? I know you mentioned Sun King's Cream Ale. Sun King's coming to town, right?
Yeah, well, they're coming closer to town.
Oh, closer.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to do this thing where like they become like the how when you go to Wisconsin, a lot of the beers are only made there, and you have to go there to get them. So they're trying to do that for Indiana. So Indianapolis is like maybe like 3 hours from Chicago.
Okay.
And now they got this thing where they're taking over the whole state. So like 24 counties you can get their beer. So you'll have their beer closer to Chicago.
Oh.
So
okay.
like places like Gary, Indiana, which is only like 25 miles from downtown, you can get their beer, and previously you couldn't. So they had a law passed, because I think they were hovering around 30,000 barrels.
Yeah.
And with the law change, now they can ramp up to as much as 90,000 barrels annually.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So they're not coming here yet, but they're getting closer.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was looking we talk about peace all the time, right? And you go to Sun King's site and click on their stuff. They've been around for about 7 years.
Yeah.
And they've got a ridiculous amount of like awards at these events, like something like 17 in the 7-year run,
Jeez, okay.
Yeah, so that's exciting news. And then what I do like about Indiana is that you go over there, and there's a lot of small breweries that, because of the state line, don't make it over here. Mm-hmm. It's a whole other world when you go over there. You can find a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I don't often cross the state lines to get beer because there's so much here. Like I'm not like, let's take a drive and pick up a 6-pack.
Yeah.
I think it's
if you find yourself over there, man, like Burnham and Matt Anthony and Sun King, and all these cool places. So yeah, so
nice.
They're expanding.
Okay.
The Sun King expansion is happening. Forbidden Root.
Yeah.
They're back in the news. Their whole concept was to be like, they're gonna have elixirs basically. They're gonna have elixirs, and they're gonna have house-made sodas. So that was
elixirs. What are elixirs?
He's like elixir.
What are elixirs?
Elixir is it's basically
is that the beer?
No, elixir is basically a spice or a fruit or some sort of liquid that you add to the beverage.
Okay.
It's like
you bought from the traveling salesman kind of thing.
It's got that old timey
Yeah.
kind of name to it, right?
This will cure all your. You got a wobbly knee. This will cure it.
What you got? Rheumatism? Hey, you take some of these elixirs and knock that shit right out. So it's so they've got 3 to start, right? They've got the Woodmaster, which is one that's going to be spicy and herbal. The Cherry Tree, and then they got one called the Robert.
So you add this to your drinks.
They're encouraging you to add it to either the beers that they make or any of the sodas that you order to enhance the flavors already there, or to just change the flavor profile a little bit. It sounds like bitters or something.
Yeah,
right?
it sounds like they're charging me twice for a drink. Right?
I was like,
here's your $7 beer, Oh, would you like a dash of elixir in there?
Yeah, and then
$2 more.
And then you probably got, the super hot waitress with the tattoos, like selling you upcharging you on this flavor enhancer, basically.
I don't like it.
He's like, I haven't even had it, and I don't like it. Yeah, so that's what they're doing.
Can I
man.
bring my own elixirs in?
God damn it, Brad. No, you cannot bring your own elixir to
This gin elixir is really good.
I got this elixir. It's called cucumber gin. Can I just throw that in my IPA?
All right, well that's kind of neat. That's a new concept.
It's a twist, and because they're always playing with like their root beer, right? We joke about not your father's root beer, but then their root beer actually has like 20 different ingredients in it, right?
Yeah, it's actually root.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a beer inspired by root beer, but it's
Yeah.
like it's got like white pepper and sandalwood and cardamom and all this other stuff in it. So they're really into these botanicals. So they're like, well, listen, we love botanicals, so why don't we just take some botanicals we're not using for the beers and put them in other products?
Okay,
Yeah, which is kind of like that's their angle.
makes sense.
Yeah, so there's that.
All right.
All right, Men's Journal, they came out with the best 101 beers in the country. So I guess each state got at least 2 beers.
Okay.
right?
Oh, I think I missed this article, missed this
Yeah.
post.
So we'll run through this is actually, it's pretty good because it focuses on a lot of breweries that I didn't know existed in a lot of these states that we've been to.
Okay.
In Illinois, these were kind of pretty straightforward. Daisy Cutter was
Yeah.
one, and then Lizard King, which is the pale ale from
Pipeworks.
Pipeworks.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pipeworks series, they deliver beer now to New York as well as like Denver and Portland.
Okay.
And Men's Journal's based in New York, so they were
Okay.
kind of excited about it. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
I don't think you can argue with that. Like they're both. I think people would have to be like, okay, fine, yeah, whatever.
those are both solid beers. In Indiana, it was Black Exodus from 18th Street. It was an oatmeal stout, and then the other beer, no surprise here, was Zombie Dust from Three Floyds.
Okay.
Yeah. So, also in news, the Brewers Association, they announced their top 50 brewers by volume for 2015.
Yeah.
And Revolution Brewing cracked the top 50 for the first time ever.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they're making moves, man. Like now on the list, at the first glance, they don't really get into like the barrel numbers, for example, but they did talk about the list, and then they put asterisks for those who were going to be exiting the list in 2016, like Lagunitas, for example,
Oh.
which is like number 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they sold half the company to Heineken.
Oh, right. So some people are gonna move up higher in the list.
Yeah, so
Oh.
they want to move higher on the list. Yeah, overall number 1 for just beer in general is obviously Anheuser-Busch. Yeah, but Revolution cracked the top 50.
That's
for
pretty
craft
big.
brewers.
That's a lot of beer they're pumping out.
Yeah.
They put out a new Pilsner that looks like Fish City, the same
Oh,
can
yeah,
design. I
the
gotta
Red Pils.
pick some of that up.
Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. I've not had that beer.
And that Galaxy Hero is in cans, and I think they said it wouldn't be back until like 2017 or something in cans again, or
Oh, wow.
something crazy like that. So I need to grab some of that as well.
Yeah.
But
Red's always a solid standby brand is Revolution. Yeah. Let's hope it stays that way.
that's all the news, everything we got on the calendar, everything we drank this past week. All right.
Yeah.
I think I'd say we killed it this week.
In and out, man. We did some traveling. We went to some events.
Right.
We were telling the people what to go hit. I think we did all right.
Yeah, I drank in 3 states
See?
this weekend. That's pretty good.
Don't let anyone tell you you're not killing it.
I know,
Brad.
right? Come on. So, Nick, where can people find you, get in touch when we're not here recording?
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass is on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Our Facebook page, /Chicago Beer Pass. We're always posting a lot of photos, events up there. I believe my family even thought I was going to an event because you posted a photo at one of the events.
They're like, oh, look at Brad at this thing.
They asked me, I saw them.
They're like, how was the thing?
On Easter, they're like, how was you were at a beer fest yesterday? Like,
Yeah.
no. They're like, we saw a picture. I was like, no. So those pictures and links and everything are coming from both Nick and I.
Yes.
So yeah, be sure you're kind of like a odd story of juxtaposition of where we might be. I thought they're in Indiana. They're at Stoutfest. What's going on? Check that out. We're always sharing a lot of events that we don't get to talk about here and other things as well.
Yeah.
And then the website, chicagobeerpass.com. All the episodes are posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube videos that we kind of do a feed with that we're still perfecting here and we're getting better with. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. I believe it's 118th episode.
Jeez.
Perfect, because I went to 18th Street, 118th, planned.
Done.
We're out of here.
Cheers.